I had a problem with the fact that I had fibroids, and I was bleeding quite heavily. And although I had the coil fitted in, I still was low on energy, and so I wanted to just address that. But also, I was feeling quite tired anyway, but sluggish, and I'm quite heavy. And I needed something to help me boost my weight loss. And although I looked around and saw other products, I decided to use yours because they were already done together, so I didn't have to go and buy things separately. And I found that your advice was very good as well. One of them I took was to boost my iron level, and I think that one had sarsaparilla in it, and something else, but I can't remember because I'm not very good with all that stuff. And that was really nice because it was gentle. In fact, it's lovely cold. I don't boil it and for the day and then just drink it like instead of like cold tea, because I always seem to have no time to have the hot tea in the morning. And then the other one I took was a cleanse. Now the cleanse is very powerful, so it was pretty good. It was powerful. It was working. I did feel that I had more energy after using both products, and that it helped me with the rest of the diet that I was doing. Well, I mean, I was at the toilet a lot. I mean, I really I was advised to stay at home, and I did on one occasion. I did on one occasion, but it was but actually I think it's best to do it on time when you really know you haven't got anything to do for maybe 3 or 4 days, if you can, or at least a weekend, because it's very strong. And yes, I did go to the toilet a lot. I drank lots of water, so I was urinating as well as passing feces, and that's fine. I mean, you know, I expect that, and it felt quite healthy, but I did have to make sure that I didn't go too far away from where a toilet was. That's the best way to put it politely. I think it's really important to do this type of thing. I mean, I remember my mother and other people's mothers always saying you need a good wash out. Except for my mother wasn't Jamaican and she didn't have a dodgy accent like me. But that's the type of thing that we used to do regularly with our children even. And I think that we move so far away from our culture that it's quite good to come back and reset, if you like, some of the things that are going on for us, because we eat so many different types of foods that are not, keeping us in as good balance. So yes, I would recommend it to other people, especially if I could see that somebody's body was in crisis of some sort, and they were saying that nothing was working. I think that that's one way to just start off and get back to balance, if you like. I think what I did like about the products in particular is the way they were packaged, and that they were quite timely in arriving, and I felt that in that way they were quite good value for money, and that they came from a company which had a sense of knowledge around what was needed. Not just going to Holland and Barrett where you lose the ethos because it's such a big company. That there's somebody who's doing this themselves, and that really makes a difference to me. Yeah, there's something about all of us that stops us from doing things that are good for us, and it can be to do with health, culture, time, maybe possibly eating disorders, or just being bombarded. I mean, I'm nearly 50, and being bombarded with lots of information about diet and health and nutrition, and tried everything. I did find it, I mean, while I was doing the cleanse, I was also, well, not obviously, maybe that people don't, but, watching what I eat more, and eating foods that were cleansing. I was eating mainly soups and juices, and that really helped to not only lose some weight, but to make me feel better in my mind and the clarity. Because when you're in that type of fog, I'd call it. Yeah, it's a brain fog that goes with the anaemia, and that constant bleeding that I had, which I don't have anymore, but still, it takes a while for your body to repair. I think that the iron most probably helped quite a lot as well. Yeah, they are it's a pretty nasty tea, but I sometimes think that you have to know what you're doing. And when we were younger, we had bitters, and it's the same sort of thing really. So I don't actually mind the bitters, but I can understand that people nowadays are used to the convenience of capsules, and also the portability of them compared to teas. So maybe yes, that would work for some people, but I've got no problem with teas. I'm a herb woman really. You know, I boil herbs and have them with water and agave for my daughter to have instead of squash. So there's something very therapeutic, I think, about boiling herbs and you know the roots and the getting back to nature, if you like. You know, but I can understand that people the modern convenience of it, and it's good that you're doing that as well. Yeah.